Hi class, we have the seventh lesson for height and distance. This is what we have today. A ladder 5 centimeters long. A ladder 5 centimeters long rests against a vertical wall. Okay, a ladder 5 centimeters long rests against a vertical wall. Rest against a wall. Okay, they don't use the word vertical, it doesn't matter. Rest against a wall such that its foot makes an angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal. Okay, how far is the foot of the ladder from the wall? Now let us assume that here is the wall. You can see here is the wall, here is the wall, here is the horizontal ground, sorry, horizontal. Okay, here is the wall, and here is the ladder. So you can see it leans. So we have the wall, we have the horizontal ground or horizontal, and we have the ladder. When the ladder leans, it makes two angles. It makes an angle with the horizontal. It makes an angle with what? With the vertical or with the wall. All right. So we need to understand this. Um, here is what? Here is the wall. Here is the wall. And here is what? The horizontal. Here is the wall. And this is the horizontal ground or horizontal. Okay. Then we are told that the ladder leans. Look at the ladder. You know, sometimes if someone wants to climb to a certain height, you need a ladder that you'll have to bring. Yeah, the ladder, of course, there is no way the ladder can suspend without touching what? The ground. So the ladder has to touch the ground before it leans on a particular wall or tree or whatsoever that is standing vertically. So, but whenever the ladder leans against a vertical something, or let's say the wall, it makes two angles. It makes an angle here, it makes an angle here. So, but which angle the question is talking about? Well, first of all, the ladder is 5 centimeters long. The length of the ladder is 5 centimeters long. It rests against a wall. You see, this is the wall. Yeah, if you want, you can write it, but there is no need. Though sometimes we do it like this to represent, but all that one doesn't matter. Yeah, such that its foot, the foot of what? A ladder 5 centimeters long rests against a vertical wall such that its foot makes an angle of 30 degrees. The ladder has two parts. We have the top part of the ladder, we have the bottom part of the ladder. But the part of the ladder that touches the ground is what we mean by the foot of the ladder. The part of the wall that touches the ground is what we mean by the foot of the wall. The part of a tree, let's say we have a tree like this. Yeah, the part of the tree that touches the ground is what we mean by the foot of the tree. So the ladder has two ends, the top part and the bottom part, and that part that touches the ground is what we mean by the foot of the ladder. So this ladder, such that its foot makes an angle of 30 degrees, the foot of the ladder. So it's not possible for the foot of the ladder to make an angle with the wall. No, it's not possible. Yeah, but despite we are further given an information that it makes an angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal. So the foot of the ladder makes an angle with the horizontal, and that is 30 degrees. Yes, 30 degrees. Okay. So how far is the foot of the ladder? See the foot of the ladder. How far is the foot of the ladder from the wall? See? How far is the foot of the ladder from the wall? Look at the wall that stands. And look at the ladder. The top part of the ladder is this, the foot part of the ladder. And the foot part of the ladder makes an angle of 30 degrees with the horizontal. Now the question is, how far How far is the foot of this ladder from the wall? So we need this one. You can suggest any letter. You can suggest any letter. So let's say here is X. Let there be X. So, but this one is always true that any vertical line that meets with any horizontal line, they will always form 90 degrees. So therefore, this one is a right angle triangle. Yeah, so finding solutions in right angle triangles most times is not difficult. Okay, but this part that we want to find, it lies between the given angle and the right angle. So that means this is the adjacent side. It is what? The adjacent side. Now, the given part, that means the ladder, this one, it is a side that is facing the 90 degrees. So that makes it what? The hypotenuse side. The what? The hypotenuse side. So if we have sine, cosine, and tangent, and we have so, car, right, like this. So we have AH, AH. So we are using cosine. We are using cosine because what we want to use, or what we are given, or what we have from what we've gathered is adjacent hypotenuse, adjacent hypotenuse, adjacent hypotenuse. So we use cosine. Yes, we use cosine. So therefore we say cos 30 degrees cosine is equal to adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is 5. We give this 1. 1 times x is x. Cos 30 times 5 is not cos 150 by multiplying this. You cannot multiply, how do I call it? A specific number which is not an angle. You cannot multiply it by this one with a trig ratio here. So this one takes the back side of this cos. So we have 5 cos 30 degrees. So x is 5 cos 30 degrees. Cos 30 degrees is root 3 upon 2. So x is equal to 5 root 3 upon 2. So this is centimeters. So this is what we have for lesson 7. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow, like, share, and comment. See my next video.